Hey guys, it's your boy MKS here, back in another video. Hope everyone's well wherever you are. Obviously, this is part 3 of, if you like, my dreams for attracting investment into Italian football as a big Italian football. And I suppose similar ideas could be applied to Celtic, as I'm a fan of Celtic as well. So I hope other teams in other leagues don't actually get these ideas. But yeah, so I'd love to see as much investment as possible into Italian football and Celtic as well. Like people like the PIF, Public Investment Fund, sovereign wealth funds, banks, oil companies, all sorts. Although it is a bit of a dilemma because I'm against wars and things like that. So it would be a bit difficult if they owned a club I love to actually condemn their wars at the same time. But I'm not sure if I should have mentioned that point. But yeah, but I still would love to see investment. Maybe football can be lucrative and therefore wars will become less lucrative. Hopefully that'll be one of my dreams as well. But yeah, I hope to encourage and come up with ideas for encouraging investment. And once again, to recap an idea I mentioned in part 1 and probably in part 2 as well, I'd love to have like a committee or think tank of people, the Italian FA itself, politicians and councils in Italy, and all sorts of people across Italy, and people from the diaspora as well, people in business, to talk about ways to market and brand Italian football, to improve the PR reputation around the world, and attract investors, and perhaps improve relations between Italians and the rest of the world through football. So, for instance, if wealthy people from Africa invest in Italian football, or wealthy black people invest in Italian football, then maybe, hopefully, there won't be as much racism in Italian football. Maybe I'm being a bit naive, but yeah, if you have an African owner owning your club, your football club, I suppose that should make you less racist, perhaps. Anyway, sorry if I've gone a bit off track, and perhaps. Yeah, I hope my anti-war stance won't actually put off companies investing in Italian football, as I'm a fan of Italian football. But on that note, I'd love for Italy to act like Switzerland, but like Switzerland does it with funds or money, how people keep money in the banks. I'd love it if if Italy was like a military neutral country, but instead focused on football and made heroes out of footballers and investors and things like that. But hopefully, if I'm really dreaming, I'd love for wealthy investors to like share my passions for Italian football somehow and like be proud to make Italian football successful. Anyway, I'm going to crack on with the list. So here goes, number 21. Again, I'd love there to be like summits, conferences, events, and things like that, which would talk to investors as well, talk about what they want to see, but also investors talk about their 5 to 10 year plans and learning about the rules of football. Like, for instance, there's FFP, financial fair play rules in football. So if you invest so much money, then you might be banned from things like the Champions League, which is what I would love Italian teams to win. So that's the whole point, or the main point of why I would love to win, like things like the Europa League and Champions League and the World Club Cup. If you're a football fan, I think you know what I'm talking about. But hopefully, yeah. So also to invest in the youth and the academy. So I hope it will benefit the national team as well. But to learn about the rules of football and like to have like a hashtag, please help to make Italian football great again, and become like a hero of Italian football. Maybe there could be even like video games where, again, this could be used to improve relations, where people from Africa, across Africa, make video games where people play to become the hero of Italian football and things like that. Maybe there could be like people who make cartoons could make the cartoon characters who are footballers into heroes or something like that, or people who invest in Italian football into heroes. I hope that makes some sort of sense. But yeah, I think like even games and toy companies like Disney, I'd love them to invest in Italian football, like in the youth, to give like again to make things like cartoons or figures or toys which are footballers which can become heroes, and like games to do with football, but also to give footballs and football kits to young Italians and football academies and opportunities and things like that. So again, to help to make Italian football great again, like companies can talk about how they did that and like winning together with like, so companies like Louis Vuitton could invest in AC Milan, say winning together and like put their brands together and things like that. And it could be something for companies to be proud of, hopefully, and again to enhance hopefully their reputation. But again, I think it'd be good if they learn about rules like financial fair play to ensure they don't violate those rules and then risk like missing out on the Champions League. So look at ways to invest in the youth and the infrastructure as well, not just do what like Man City did, where they might be banned from the Champions League or things like that. Moving on, number 22. Again, look at new. With the saying 21 again, that's the reason why I said look at how to make Italian football proud again, like it used to be in the past. But 22 could be like looking into the future about how football could be in the future, how tactics could be modernised and things like how Italian football can modernise, and again look at what it can learn from every other league and national team, including in attracting investment as well as making the game more exciting for people to watch, so it's marketed better overseas as well. Number 23, I think it'd be great if Italian football also learned from like the Premier League, the EPL, and Celtic itself, actually, funny enough, like about the work they do for charity. So if Italian football teams did a lot more for charity, then it could actually come back to benefit the clubs, because it would enhance the reputation of the clubs. So it would it's like investing to get more back in the future, but hopefully also it would help. That's not the reason why I want to help them that's not the reason why I want them to help charities, because I do think it would be good also to make, so I hope it will be a mutual beneficial thing rather than just benefiting Italian football, but I hope both Italian football and those charities will also benefit together, again mutually. Number 24, I think it'd be great if Italians united against, I know when they play each other they'll be rivals, but I think it'd be great if Italians united when they're playing non-Italian teams, especially non-Mediterranean teams as well, and that kind of thing. And looked at ways, shared ideas, again, like having committees and think tanks, and Italian businesses themselves, perhaps even Italians themselves, just like giving 10% of their wealth or their money or their assets even to their local football clubs, like people in, say, Parma or Fiorentina, Florence, or Milan, AC Milan or Inter Milan, respectively, whichever part of the city they come from, could invest in their local club, like donate to their club to invest in, as long as they know it's going to be reinvested back to improve the club, like the academies and things like that, and benefit the local area by helping young people to get into football, and hopefully that will help them be healthy, have a sense of purpose and things like that, which I think would have a lot of benefits. So hopefully a lot of times will donate to their local football teams, and maybe even to the national team, and to and for Italy to have things like England has the St. George's Park. Italy could have things like that, like the San Siro could be used for youth football. I think that'd be a pretty impressive youth structure. Number 25, again, I think it'd be great for Italians to improve relations with the rest of the world through football. Number 26, I think it'd be great for Italians and Italian football to give back to countries like Ethiopia and Tunisia and Eritrea and other countries that Italy invaded, like to help their entrepreneurs or help their women and young people set up their own businesses and things like that, and supported, like say Ethiopian artists or things like that, again Tunisian or Eritrean artists or poets, writers and musicians, and all sorts of projects in those countries, like fundraising through football to like give back to those communities and countries. Number 27, again, I think it'd be great to have heroes, like have the Italian football walk, wall and Hall of Fame and things like that, so it acknowledges like both people from overseas and Italy itself, and people from the diaspora and whoever else who has invested into Italian football. So again, that would encourage people to invest in Italian football and that kind of thing. Number 28, hopefully some of the negative stereotypes about Italian football, Italians will learn how to turn those into positives and like tackle football hooliganism and crime and negative things through football and make the world a better place instead. And hopefully that will enhance the reputation of Italian football. Number 29, I'd love for my fellow Anglo-Indians, to maybe even olive-skinned people generally, to invest in Italian football teams and like donate to Italian football academies. Again, like donating things like football kits and like funding those sorts of things and fundraising for those sorts of things as much as possible, which I hope will help. And number 30, again, I'd love to hear other people's ideas and look at what could be done, what creative ideas could be done, maybe even my fellow dyslexics. I know it'd be hard a hard sell to get them to do so, but it would be great to see them do similar similar things, to fundraise for Italian football with our creative ideas, and hopefully, as I said before, like Italy, to raise awareness of dyslexia through football. And I think that covers everything for now, and I'm out. Peace and love.